it up for love.
I want you. I want you. Lady, I want you. Every time I see you, I just wanna kiss you and hold you. You can take you to my place, candlelight dinner. Then I start massaging your shoulders.
Baby girl, let's just get out of here. Take a little flight. Let's get lost in love. Let's go. Ma, it's no problem to hold you, tongue stroke you, please you like I'm supposed to. Touch spots that ain't ever been touched, and I won't stop till both these squirrels get they nuts. Hey, you know it's good when we freakin', king size squeaking after I ease in. If you was with me, baby, 24/7, best believe that every single day would be a sweet day. Girl, you sweeter than a cheesecake. If you want beef, prophecy would be a beefcake. I make love to you till you fall asleep, leave you with sweet dreams between the sheets.
What's good, everybody? It's your man Big Dumb coming at you with another TruPlayaz Podcast episode. But this episode is going to be strictly audio. There is no video to this podcast. I just want to speak about the speech by the president um, that he did yesterday in regards to further pushing the mandate agenda for the injection. I'm not going to call something that doesn't prevent me from getting a virus and preventing me from giving it to somebody else a vaccine. It is just an injection. I will stand by that. However, there's a very big problem in this country in which we are losing the definition of being a United States by this mandate that goes on by a president who, plays tough and still sleeps while he's playing tough. It only goes to show you how, over the past 9 months since he has taken office, how wrong we were to vote him into office. You know what I'm saying? I voted for him, and now it's official. I have voters' remorse as far as this guy being the president of the country. United States of America is no longer the free world. And it was based on a virus that went wild last year. And it got even worse this year because what they're not telling you, what these people are not telling you, they tell you selective truths. They want to blame everything on the unvaccinated, and the vaccinated are blameless. But let me tell you something right now, people, ladies and gentlemen, who's listening to the podcast. The problem is about this situation that we're dealing with in this country and all around the world. You cannot blame the vaccinated. You cannot blame the unvaccinated. You must blame the powers that be that allowed this to go out of control so they could put band-aids and control people and their sovereignty. You place the blame on them. They only got themselves to look at, you know, because I understand people were mask wearing weary. Did not want to wear the mask anymore. They were looking for a solution for them to not wear a mask. And the solution was the injection. However, the injection only exacerbated the situation by developing variants because of the injection. Something that they're not telling you. They don't want to tell you. They want to maintain a certain credibility to not only protect themselves, but also to divide a country. Now it's no longer divided between black and white. Now it's being divided by vaccinated and unvaccinated. This president was on live TV and said that this is the pandemic of the unvaccinated. I think it's the pandemic of the stupidity that runs wild in this country. which has been masked for many, many years. Has been masked by many, many years. And it only goes to show you that, these guys who call themselves presidents, you know, dare I say it, are just a man in the seat. I'm not going to say the other word. I'm just going to say a man in the seat. When you see the leader of the United States gives a speech yesterday about mandating the vaccine, you can see the subliminal puppet wires on the television screen. The subliminal puppet wires on the screen. Okay? We all know he can't even front as if he's not looking at a teleprompter. You can tell damn right he's looking at a teleprompter while he's saying this speech, giving this speech about the importance of having everybody vaccinated, or in my words, the injection. Now he has mandated all federal workers to be vaccinated or receive the injection, ladies and gentlemen, without the option to test on a weekly basis. This situation is running more wilder than Hulkamania, and there's no end in sight until they get until they get their rules set, until they get every single person in this world vaccinated, and they will continue with the rhetoric until that's done. Unfortunately, this is going to affect a lot of people and their ability to put food on their table. They're going to have to choose whether or not to give up their sovereignty to have an income to support their family. That's a very large sacrifice to ask any human being to do, no matter what the situation is, in my opinion. Like I said, I am not an anti-vaxxer. I've taken all my vaccines. I begrudgingly took the flu vaccine every year when I worked at the facility that I work at. I am a healthcare provider. I work in healthcare. I begrudgingly took the flu vaccine because I did not want to wear a mask during the flu season. But I realized that was a mistake because over the past 3 or 4 years, each time I took the flu vaccine or flu shot, I've had chills, uncontrollable chills for 4 days straight, or I have weakness in my joints out of nowhere. I understand I'm not as young as I'm used to, but I know damn well that I never had any weakness in my joints ever until I took that shot. Now they're telling everybody we must take the injection for the virus of the pandemic, the virus that causes the pandemic that we're currently in the state in right now. You know what I'm saying? And he also implores the Department of Labor to enforce that as well. Either in companies of employees of more than 100 employees, he wants the Department of Labor to enforce that they either get vaccinated or get tested. It's an option, but he wants to get everybody vaccinated. Has been the master plan to set everybody up to whatever next event that happens. You know, it's disturbing that I'm not going to take the side of Donald Trump. We complain about how Donald Trump was a divisive president. That's why we voted him out of office. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing the same exact thing with Sleepy Biden, the puppet. We're seeing the same exact thing. The only difference is not about race anymore. It's about the vaccinated versus the unvaccinated. In the time that we should come together as a country to continue to battle this pandemic, which in essence has gone to a fourth wave, This is the opportunity for everybody to come together. Not and when I mean come together, let's come together as if we could sit at a table and discuss options to diminish the spread of this virus called CV-19. I'm gonna call it CV-19 because once I posted on Facebook and I mentioned anything about vaccinations or COVID-19, they're going to bash it like a you're gonna listen to it and watch what I say. I'm gonna call it CV-19 and the injection. The injected versus the non-injected. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? This guy goes on TV and and bullies people into taking an injection. Are you serious right now? I can't even take you seriously right now. If there was a constitutional law in which I could rescind a particular person of being someone I have to acknowledge as a president, lo and behold, I would have exercised that right. Because we could always get past racism. Racism has been running rampant through this country since the beginning of this independence back in 1776. Racism has been here, but the virus just been here in March 2020. Technically, fully reported March 2020. But in my estimation, this virus has been here since 2018 because I had a relative who passed away. When she passed away, she was having uncontrollable fevers, which mimic the symptoms of COVID-19. Back in 2018. Uncontrollable fevers, uncontrollable sugar levels, and quite possibly had pneumonia, which the facility that she was at, couldn't even diagnose a stroke in time. So I'm going to go on that premise and say that also. But what I'm going to say is about this punk ass they call the director of NIH. This punk ass who has possibly haven't seen a patient over 50 years. This is where the trouble started with him. And like I said, voters remorse. You know, the 45th president, Donald J. Trump, was telling us something without telling us something. And we all took a blind eye because of his racist antics, his constant Twitter banter. We lost track of what he was trying to say. If he was as perfectly articulate as Obama, he probably more than likely would have gotten the second term. But like I said, when you have to answer the powers that be, that gives you loans and continue to gives you loans, the powers that be that each man in that seat in that White House has to answer to, um, you get this situation. When you don't play ball, they find a way to get rid of you. So, let me get back to Anthony Fauci. This is where the trouble started for all the healthcare providers. When I forgot who was the guy on Sunday News on Channel 4. I forgot the host's name. Chris Holt. Is that his name or something like that? Meet the Press or something. Not Meet the Press. What's that show? I forgot. But anyway, that guy, Chris Holt, whatever his name is, that punk ass stirred the pot up by asking that question whether or not healthcare professionals should be fully vaccinated for COVID-19 or CV-19. My bad, guys. CV-19. And Anthony Fauci, you know, said yes, they should. All healthcare providers should be fully vaccinated for CV-19. They have no choice in the matter. Even the ones who put their even everybody who put their lives on the line since March 2020, who had to take time away from their family. Most of us also died of, most of us in the healthcare field have passed away due to COVID. Some of us who have been fortunate to have COVID and able to recover. Now you're telling us that if we don't get vaccinated, that we lose our jobs, we can lose our careers. As far as if we don't take the injection, we could lose our careers. So basically, you back us into a corner to force the healthcare providers who put their lives on the line each and every day to make sure people heal from viruses, from disease, and all that stuff, to take an injection that, according to the words of the CDC, according to the words of Dr. Fauci, according to the science, so-called scientists, crack commando scientists that we have, that the injection keeps you from the ICU, keeps you from getting mortally sick. And what happens is that all these people who took the vaccine, I don't know if the vaccine altered their thinking or altered their mind. They have become fanatics on making sure and bullying people who are not vaccinated. They want to push everybody to be vaccinated. I don't know. This injection probably has a mind altering effect to have you believe that the injection is the best thing for you. Like I said, when I call these crack commando scientists who seem to ignore natural immunity, and natural immunity does not mean anything to them. The vaccine is paramount. There's been published reports on Bloomberg and Bloomberg publication that the natural immunity has a far superior chance to battle the Delta variant than the vaccine. It is documented. Ladies and gentlemen, it's documented and has been studied in Israel. In Israel, where nearly more than 90% of the people are inoculated with the injection, and their cases have not gone down. We're in the summer months, about to get to fall right now, and we notice if you look at the numbers, the sheer numbers. I'm not making this shit up. The cases have gone up 300% since last summer, compared to last summer. 300%. But once again, the great scientists that we have, the head of state, who's been pulled by a string, and the great Dr. Fauci will not even mention that. They have ignored it. They say vaccination is the way to go, and that's that. You know, you know. I truly believe that if the vaccine was meant to curb the pandemic, I believe more people would have taken it already. But this injection has not shown that ability to even do that. As a matter of fact, this injection has created, through what I've seen, eyewitnesses created a bunch of super spreaders, perpetrated by the great guidance of a certain disease center. You know, what can you say, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, once you're fully vaccinated, you could take off your mask. Let me tell you something. There was people out there taking off their mask after their first dose, but yet it continues to be the pandemic of the unvaccinated. This is the mindset. This is the rhetoric. This is the directive. You know what I'm saying? I'm not against vaccinations. I'm just against this injection because it doesn't do, yeah, in my opinion, it does not do what I, as an individual, would like for it to do. Is to do two things: prevent me from getting the virus and prevent me from spreading the virus. That is the only true essence in a way that we can get back to normal. Not a new normal. That's the best way to go back to normal. Not locking down people like they're doing in Australia. Not telling people you have to be vaccinated to ride a fucking bus in Canada. You know what I'm saying? And what they're doing in France with Macron and this guy in Trudeau up in Canada, they all kick fucking rocks. I got family in Canada. I got family in Montreal that I cannot see unless I get an injection in my fucking arm. Australia, down there in Australia, the leaders have already said out loud, much to the chagrin of their masters, about some type of hmm, that's how I'll put it to you guys like that. If you guys ever watch WCW, what was that powerful group that took WCW by storm with their members was as when their members was Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash. And you get what I'm saying. I mean, a lot of people, I bet you the injected don't will not agree with me what I got to say about the injection because their mind has been twisted to believe that the injection is the hottest thing since sliced bread. It's the end all be all to the virus. No, 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 no. The end all be all to this virus is learn to have common courtesy for each other as human beings, whether injected or non-injected. Common courtesy. This is how the whole shit spread the way it spread like wildfire. Because people lack courtesy towards each other. You know what I'm saying? Lacked it. And then we got this situation now. I'm not going to go into any controls of human life on this earth. I believe God has a plan for that. And trust me, when God comes down from where He's coming down from, He's going to wipe out the entire human race. He's going to wipe it out. So there'll be no population, period. There'll be zero when He comes. Now keep fucking around with the spirits. You keep fucking around with the universe. The universe is gonna say fuck you. I'm gonna fuck you up and gonna put you down. There's not an amount of money that's gonna keep you from his wrath. It's not a spaceship in the world that can help you run away from the wrath of God. There's not even not amount of money that can protect you from the wrath of God. Remember that, motherfuckers. You're out there doing your agendas. And as far as people in the medical field, my colleagues in the medical field, the healthcare field, if your colleague does not want to get the vaccine, mind your fucking business. Don't worry about how many kids he got. How many. Don't worry about the family he has to feed. Don't worry about his plans about how he's going to try to avoid getting the injection. Mind your fucking business. You took the injection, that's fine. Good for you. I still support you. You know what I'm saying? It's not. I respect people who allow people to have free will. Free will. I believe people have free will. Eventually, they will turn around and take the injection. I truly believe that. But when it's like telling someone don't smoke, say no to drugs, say no to drugs. These motherfuckers gonna want the drug even more. You tell people get the injection, get the injection, get the injection. Motherfuckers like yo, I'm not taking that shit. You gotta play psychology if you want something done your way. And this is not psychology. This is weakness because they want to further whatever master plan they got. I'm not here to speak on it, but if you want to wipe out half the world, just drop a nuke on them. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting what I see what I hear on freaking on Clubhouse. People are still saying this virus is fake. Yeah, you just been fortunate. This virus is the luck of the draw. It has nothing to do with core. It does have some a little bit to do with comorbidities, but not as much, not as big as they claim to be. This virus is based on luck of the draw. If you contract it, if you end up in ICU, or you just contracted it and all you had was a little cold, or you lost your smell or something, like I said, it's luck of the draw. So stop blaming it on the non-injected to protect your injected. So I'll tell you straight out, every single person who's been injected in my facility be having wet coughs. They're coughing all the goddamn time, and they sound funny, having coughs and everything. Is that a symptom of the virus? So y'all need to check yourselves when you start blaming on the unvaccinated, though. All the unvaccinated are not the ones having wet coughs. Hell, they're not even coughing. But the non-injected have to be subject to testing with a thing up with a freaking thing up their nose every 7 days, which I don't have a problem with at all. I'll just take the L and do that than inoculating myself with something that doesn't do what I want it to do. It keeps me away from ICU or bad illness. You can do that by doing the same thing by taking supplements and eating right. You can do the same exact thing doing it that way. You don't need to be inoculated to prevent the ICU. You should be inoculated to prevent you from getting the virus in the first place and passing it on. Didn't they do that for measles, mumps, and rubella? Didn't they do that for pertussis, diphtheria, tetanus? Y'all guys got to open your eyes and think. Don't let the particles from the injection cloud your thinking. Open your eyes and see what the hell is going on. I feel bad for the people who are forced to be injected to keep their job. Because I know damn well deep in their soul they don't want to do that. They didn't want to do that. But they have to keep a roof over their heads. They have to keep a family. They have a family to feed. And even I myself is going to have to cross that bridge myself. Even though I don't have a family yet. But I still got bills to pay. Still got a house to maintain. So, you know what I'm saying? I just hope that it doesn't cloud my judgment the way it clouds the judgment of people who got the injection, because they have become the most unreasonable group of people we ever seen in your life. Cedric Sabalos, I seen a tweet from Stephen A. Smith. Yesterday, as a matter of fact, I seen the tweet from Stephen A. Smith, wishing well wishes to Cedric Sabalos. Cedric Sabalos is in the hospital for 10 days in ICU with COVID-19. And you see the lack of humanity about these motherfuckers in the comment section off that tweet. Some people say it's good for his ass. He should have got himself vaccinated. What kind of world we living in that you don't have the simple human trait of empathy or sympathy? What kind of fucking animal are you? To wish pain on somebody because they didn't get the injection? Because you didn't see things your way? First of all, the problem is with this world is people don't like to compromise. It's either you're on one team or the other team. There's no sense of compromising. There's no sense of coming together and coming up with a compromise. So everybody think they're better than everybody else. But you seem to forget there's a universe which is controlled by a universe that dictates you when you leave this earth. There's no argument with the universe when it comes to take your life, comes to take your soul, and takes your soul to sit at the gates of judgment. You don't control that. That's the problem with us humans. We try to control the supernatural by imposing our will on the supernatural. That shit will come back and bite you in your ass and put you on the floor. Now keep tempting fate. You know, keep tempting fate. If Hurricane Ida don't wake your ass up, if Hurricane Elena don't wake your ass up, you know what I'm saying? It's coming. It's coming for your asses. Your buggers can't save you. That's real talk. So everybody who's injected, your colleague or coworker makes a decision to not be injected, mind your fucking business and live your fucking life. Because damn sure they living theirs they making sure they're in position to live theirs the best way they can. They still have the power to make their own decisions. Still having power to make their own decisions and the power to still be a sovereign human being, which we're all placed to be. We're all given granted the gift of life to be on this earth, to have a sovereign sense of thinking, a sovereign sense of purpose that only the spirit of that person can control, not someone else. So this is what I'm gonna do right now with this podcast. I only did an audio podcast. I'm ready to go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? This shit is, for me as a person, just bothers me because I never thought a country that my parents came to for the opportunity to have free thinking, to have free will, is acting much worse than the country they came from. Oh, by the way, for all y'all Haitians who are living in this country, hoping to go back to Haiti, ain't that funny? They made sure that Haiti is in a fucked up state, so you can't go back there. You're stuck here. Ain't that some bullshit? Think about that for a second. I was talking to my cousin about this shit earlier today. Since all of a sudden Haiti has fault lines starting in 2010 that causes earthquakes. Come on, man. This shit not motherfuckers ain't behind that shit. This shit niggas in your face with the bullshit. Yeah, niggas still can't see that shit. Oh, well, I guess we just have to get injected, and we have to, play ball, motherfucker. That's the problem. There's too many weak motherfuckers, man. Wake your ass up, man. And start devising strategies to. There's always a way to circumvent everything, even the injection. There's ways to circumvent that too. You know, I'm not saying that's the reason I'm holding off yet. 'Cause I haven't found the circumvention of the injection, but I'm quite sure I'm working on that as we speak. And no, we're not gonna use fake injection cards and shit like that. We're going to do it legitly. If when that crossroad is happening to take the injection, there will be a reversal prepared because that's the type of person I am. Because I was put on this world to control my destiny. I made a vow to control my destiny till the day I leave this earth. I will be in control of my destiny, no one else. And anyone who wants to challenge me, Let's not play the mind games or the stupid, you know, viruses that you want to throw out there. Come look me dead, come look dead in my face. Look into my eyes, like man to man, woman to man, whatever sex you are, and shoot a fair one. Put your fist up and shoot a fair one. That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm telling you. What's going to happen? Because my destiny is my destiny. It don't be my decisions are belong to anyone. So it's your man Big Dom signing off on the TruPlayaz Podcast on this now Saturday morning. You can listen to the podcast on JoeyG Radio, Anchor, Spreaker, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, iHeart Radio, Radio.com, Soundcloud, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and every other um, application that you can listen to podcasts on. I am there. TruPlayaz Podcast. It's your man Big Dom signing off on this podcast. Peace.